let's dive into this incredible Taiwanese thriller, The Resurrected. This story starts as a straightforward, brutal revenge plot, but oh man, it quickly turns into this wild maze of lies where you can't trust anyone or anything you see.
So what makes this show so unique? Well, it's like it's mashing together two totally different genres. You've got this super gritty, realistic crime drama about a horrible human trafficking ring, and then, boom, you've got this dark, almost spooky, mystical side. We're talking a supernatural pact with a goddess who can literally mess with life and death. And honestly, it's that clash that makes the whole thing just, wow, so good.
And really, the entire story boils down to this one central question. It's the engine behind every single character's decision, every single twist, and that question is, what is the true cost of revenge? Think about that, because we're going to see it play out in some crazy ways.
Okay, so first up, a pact for vengeance. This is where we meet the two women at the absolute heart of this whole storm, Chao-jen and Chen. They're two mothers just completely shattered by grief, and they're tied together by a tragedy that's, well, it's going to push them to do the unthinkable.
So here's the tragedy. Their daughters got caught up with this awful scammer, a guy named Shikai. He was running this trafficking ring, but he disguised it as like an online job site. Just horrible. Chao-chen's daughter, Sinje, was actually killed, and Chen's daughter, Jinjin, she survived, but she's in a deep coma. The worst part, the system, the law, it's completely failed them. They've got no justice, just this immense pain.
So what do you do when the law fails you? Well, they go way beyond it. They make this pact with a mysterious goddess who can, get this, bring people back from the dead. But of course, there's a catch. It only lasts for 7 days. And here's the really chilling part. They don't use this power to bring back their daughters. No, they bring back their killer, Shikai, so they can serve up their own kind of justice.
All right, Section 2. The scammer gets scammed. At first, their plan is pretty straightforward. Brutal, but straightforward. They're going to make him suffer for every single second of those 7 days. But then, something changes. Their mission starts to get way more complex. It turns from just brutal revenge into this, a kind of poetic justice.
And this is a really key moment for them. They have this major psychological shift. They realize that hurting Shikai, it's not actually going to heal them. It's not going to fix their pain. It's just going to trap them in that same cycle of trauma. Revenge isn't about freedom, they realize. It's just another kind of prison. And once they figure that out, man, the whole game changes.
So what's the new plan? It's brilliant. Instead of focusing on his body, they're going to go after his entire empire. They come up with this incredible counter-scam. Get close to his family. They bring in an ally, Isan, to get close to his sister. And the end game? Get into the family's crypto wallet and completely drain the funds that are powering this whole disgusting operation. They're literally going to scam the scammer.
Okay, things are getting good now. The mastermind in shadows. Just as they think they're getting a handle on things, pulling at the seams of his operation, they stumble onto a lie. And it's a lie that's so much deeper, so much darker than they could have ever guessed. Because it turns out the guy they resurrected, he's not even the real boss.
So Shikai, being the master manipulator he is, he plays his trump card. He drops this absolute bombshell, a lie specifically designed to just shatter the trust between these two mothers. He tells Chao-jen that Jinjin, the daughter in the coma, wasn't so innocent. He claims she was actually working with him, helping him lure the other girls into his scam. Just a vicious, devastating lie.
I mean, can you imagine? It's a perfect piece of psychological warfare. He's weaponizing their grief, planting seeds of doubt, and it works. It starts to break their alliance right when they need each other most. But you have to ask yourself, is he telling the truth?
And here's the real kicker. Shikai wasn't the top dog at all. The real mastermind, the one pulling every single string, was this woman, Chia Feng. And get this, she was pretending to be his mother. She was running the whole show from the shadows, and Shikai was just her muscle, her enforcer.
And this all leads us to the climax, a showdown of lies. Everything is about to come to a head at this fancy-pants charity gala, which, by the way, is just a front for Chia Feng's money laundering. This is it. This is where all the plans, all the lies, and all the characters are about to collide in one seriously messy, bloody showdown.
And it just explodes into chaos right away.
First, Hui-chun poisons the water to create a diversion. Then, Chao-jen gets grabbed by Chia Fang's goons while trying to expose her. Just then, Shikai himself bursts in, guns blazing. He actually kills Chia Fang right there, all to get the code to that crypto wallet.
And this leads to, I think, the most intense moment in the entire show. Shikai has Chao-jen trapped. Suddenly, Hui-chun shows up and she's got a gun. Shikai, thinking his lie about her daughter worked, he just smirks. Because Hui-chun isn't aiming at him, she's aiming right at her friend, Chao-jen. It looks like the ultimate betrayal.
She pulls the trigger. Chao-jen goes down. And for a heart-stopping second, you think Shikai has actually won. He turned them against each other. But then, the twist. The shot was a fake.
Chao-jen gets right back up, not a scratch on her. And Hui-chun just looks at Shikai and says these three perfect, powerful words. I trust her. Their bond never broke for a second. The whole thing was a setup, an act to trick Shikai into one last, arrogant confession. They totally, completely scammed the scammer.
And right at that moment, as it all dawns on him, his time is up. The 7 days are over. The goddess's deal has expired. He's been outsmarted, outplayed, and he just fades away. Gone. His evil is literally erased.
But wait, just when you're breathing a sigh of relief, thinking it's all over, justice is served, the show hits you with one final, absolutely shocking twist.
Okay, so first we find out what really happened to Ginjin on that balcony. It wasn't Shikai who pushed her. It was another victim, a girl named Ani. She was manipulated, panicked, and she's the one who sent Ginjin over the edge. So Ginjin is completely cleared. She was a hero, trying to save everyone from the very beginning.
And now, prepare yourselves for the final masterstroke. Jingjin, the girl in the coma, the helpless victim, she was never helpless, not for a second. Before any of this even happened, she had already set a plan in motion. She was secretly working with an ally on the inside, a guy named Yang, to bring the whole thing down. She was the one leaking info to the cops. And in the very last shot of the series, an ambulance gets stopped by the police, and inside, Jingjin opens her eyes. She was awake. She was running the show the entire time.
So that just leaves us with this one mind-bending question. Everything we just watched, the mother's revenge, the resurrection, that whole insane showdown, it was all just a sideshow. It was all part of a much bigger, much more brilliant game being played by the one person nobody was watching, the victim. So was the victim we felt so sorry for actually the secret villain? Or was she the ultimate hero, pulling the strings on her own perfect, brutal justice from the shadows? Well, the show lets you be the judge of that.